Right now at 6 million set to hit the roads and skies. The impact on your holiday travel. And flu cases triple in 1 week. The dangerous surge in influenza activity in Wisconsin.
You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 6.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us tonight at 6. I'm Ken Kozarowski. Emily is off. The holiday travel rush is underway, and it's already breaking records. News 8 Now's Seth Padilla is in La Crosse tonight with more. Seth.
Ken, fueling those records are low gas prices.
According to AAA, the travel numbers keep going up year after year. In Wisconsin, 2.4 million will be hitting the roads and traveling at least 50 miles. A majority by car, with gas prices in La Crosse at $2.37 a gallon. That's down from the national average of $2.80.
I'm a musician, so I do a lot of traveling, so I love having lower gas prices.
With the roads more packed than ever, AAA says to prepare for anything.
As you're putting your luggage and your bags into the car, don't forget to check that emergency kit. And you want to have your cell phone charger. You want jumper cables, some extra bottles of water. It gets cold, bring some blankets, all of these things to ensure your safety if you have to pull over to the side of the road.
When it comes to traveling on the road, some drivers actually welcome more traffic because of speeding and safety concerns.
It'll be denser. It might actually be slower because of the density. I hope so. I hope people don't try to gain that 1 minute on a 3-hour drive.
AAA says the roads will be packed up to 7 and 8 p.m., and they say the best time is to leave before 11 a.m.
La Crosse Regional Airport said flights are looking like they will be more packed than usual, so be aware of that. Reporting live in La Crosse, Seth Padilla, News 8 Now.
Seth, thank you. Now to those airports. It's going to be busy. AAA says almost 140,000 Wisconsinites are expected to take to the skies to reach that holiday destination, almost a 2% jump from last year. Overall, TSA says it expects 44.3 million flyers will travel over Christmas and New Year's.
Just bring patience with you, that's like the #1 thing.
And don't forget, you need a real ID to fly or a passport. If you don't have either, you can pay a $45 TSA fee to fly. So whenever you're heading out for that holiday commute, wherever you may be headed around this region, Greg, ought to be smooth sailing.
Yeah, especially to get those Powerball tickets tomorrow. You need to get some weather out there too. So should be fine. Really, for most of the travel, we do have a little bit of a concern going into Thursday night. We'll break that down a little bit later. But for the most part, it's mild, really. You can see temperatures where we have less snow. We got more into the mid-40s, where we have a little bit more snowpack in the ground, more into the 30s. But all these temperatures are well above average for this time of year. This evening, right now, we're still in the 30s at La Crosse, 25 at Eau Claire, 32. Increasing high clouds, but overall very quiet conditions and really a pleasant evening for this part of December. Really, as our temperatures start from 21, getting back down to about 19, so colder than what we had last night. But notice the increasing cloud cover, so these temperatures will probably bottom out about midnight to early after midnight before they kind of remain steady with cloud cover. You can see La Crosse 33, just getting down to 26. Our average high should be 29 at this point, and like I said, just a little bit of a wind, so not much in the way of a wind chill. Current temperatures across the region, there you are. We have high clouds, as you see, noticing increasing from west to east. We do have a system. It's well to the west, more the Dakotas to the eastern Montana area, but that is what's going to be coming through tomorrow and bring a lot of cloud cover, maybe some precipitation. So we'll break that down, but then later on we do have that chance of some precipitation Christmas night, and then we do have a big plunge in temperatures, and we'll kind of break down when to expect that a bit later in the broadcast.
All right. Thank you, Greg. And as you travel this holiday, always remember you can keep the First Warn weather app handy to track that weather 24/7. 2 News 8 follow-ups tonight. Charges are dropped against a man accused of killing a pregnant woman. That man is Matthew Sierra. A La Crosse County judge is now giving prosecutors 72 hours to refile the case. The judge is citing issues with the criminal complaint. Sierra allegedly killed his girlfriend Alexis Pickett, who was pregnant with his child. He reportedly then set her home on fire. A judge is ordering Morgan Geyser back to a state psychiatric hospital. She escaped from her Winnebago group home last month. Geyser is serving a 40-year sentence for stabbing her classmate in 2014 to please the fictional character Slender Man. Flu activity is surging in Wisconsin. According to UW Health, the percentage of patients testing positive nearly tripled in just 1 week. It jumped from 5% during the week of December 8th to 14% last week. As of today, there have been 2 pediatric deaths in Wisconsin tied to the flu. Governor Tony Evers is extending Wisconsin's energy emergency. The reason, continued pipeline disruptions. Evers first declared an emergency on December 5th. It was tied to a disruption and a high demand for heating fuel. That declaration remains in effect now through January 16th. The Black Hawk Bridge ferry service is back in action. It was suspended during the implosion of the bridge, and while crews spent the weekend clearing the path of debris. The ferry runs 7 days a week, 5:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. Still to come, a new batch of Epstein files going public, why the Justice Department is jumping to the president's defense, and the Louvre Museum installs new security measures of a massive jewel theft that remains unsolved. The Department of Justice releasing thousands more documents related to Jeffrey Epstein. The DOJ released about 30,000 pages overnight, including emails from 2019 in the days after Jeffrey Epstein was arrested on sex trafficking charges. The emails show federal agents asking for updates in contacting 10 potential co-conspirators, including Ghislaine Maxwell, but most names are redacted. One email from the Justice Department says then private citizen Donald Trump flew on Epstein's plane many more times than had previously been known.
What this whole thing is with Epstein is a way of trying to deflect from the tremendous success that the Republican Party has.
President Trump has said he had a falling out with Epstein years ago and had no knowledge of his crimes. The DOJ also came to the president's defense, writing on social media that some documents contain untrue and sensationalist claims made against the president that were submitted to the FBI right before the 2020 election. Rob and Michelle Reiner's death certificates have been released. They reveal that the couple were cremated at LA's Mount Sinai mortuary. Their remains were given to their oldest son, Jake. The couple's son, Nick, has been charged with their murders. He's expected to enter an insanity plea. Nick Reiner will be back in court on January 7th. New security is now in place at the Louvre. Security bars were installed on the window that thieves used to break into the museum in October. $102 million in crown jewels were taken. 4 people have been arrested and charged, but the jewels have not been found. 'Tis the season for shopping and giving gifts. Susan Elizabeth Littlefield reports from the Mall of America to take a look at the history behind why we wrap presents.
The largest mall in the country. It's game time.
My daughter, my son.
My siblings. I have 3 younger siblings.
My husband, no, because he's right here.
And then my parents, too.
But he likes Vikings and stuff, so he's always getting kind of Vikings and stuff.
And with the time-honored tradition of gift giving is gift concealing.
Are you bag people or are you wrapping people?
Personally, I'm wrapping.
I think it depends on the shape, the size.
And if the gift already comes with the box or not.
I've had a couple of years where I'm like, it's bags this year.
I enjoy wrapping. I like it. It's fun.
As seen at the mall's premier gift wrap location, the Paper Source.
Handing someone a gift versus having it wrapped. It's different.
Yeah, it is. The gift itself being wrapped up with a really nice bow shows them through your actions that I love you, and I'm willing to take the extra time to be able to make something even more special for you.
I feel like as a kid, you don't really know what you'd get like under the wrapper.
I think because it tells the person that you took the time to look for something that they enjoy.
So it's like the thrill of unwrapping the gift.
And those assumptions are largely correct, as we discovered after digging into the wrapping culture. Research from Oxford University reads, the most obvious and practical reason to wrap items is to protect them. Think of giving neighbor vegetables from your garden. The research also suggests anticipation is a reason for wrapping, saying the special effort put into the decoration of the gift is probably expected to transmit a message of goodwill to the recipient.
I last year wrapped some of my gifts within fabric because we're Japanese, and that's like something within our culture.
A tip they got from their grandmother, which makes sense. Wrapping is rooted in Asian tradition. According to anthropology magazine Sapiens, back 2,000 years ago in China, paper was used to protect precious materials and store tea leaves and medicine. About 1,000 years ago, wrapping became central to Japanese culture. And now it's a nearly universal tradition. A heartful.
It's fun to give more than to receive.
And artful.
It's beautiful. Thank you.
1-2. With photojournalist Jose Pascual, Susan Elizabeth Littlefield, WCCO News.
The U.S. economy got an unexpected boost last quarter. The third quarter GDP report showed an inflation-adjusted annualized rate of 4.3%, accelerating far faster than the 3.8% recorded in quarter two and marking the fastest growth rate in 2 years. Gold prices jumped to an all-time high Monday, topping more than $4,400 per ounce. Analysts say the surge was driven by geopolitical tensions and softening monetary policy. The price of silver also jumped Monday to around $69 per ounce. And the Powerball jackpot soaring to $1.7 billion as no one won the latest drawing. Next one tomorrow night. Since September 6th, there have been 46 straight drawings without a winner. We will have more news ahead tonight, but first.
Definitely looking like a very mild Christmas this year with a lot of cloud cover, maybe a little precipitation. So we'll time out one to expect some precip, and then when we'll actually return to more like winter-like conditions. That all coming up on your First Warn Weather Update after the break. Yeah, we're barely holding on to the snowpack across a lot of the areas, as I mentioned earlier, where the 40s where you can see pretty much not in the way of much snow cover, especially on south-facing areas, too. As you go further north, there is a little bit more snowpack. We're going to keep dwindling this a little bit. Don't expect to accumulate much over of any precipitation in the next 7 to 8 days to accumulate get snowfall. So we will see if we can hold on. I think north-facing areas will probably be fine. They tended to have a hard time melting this time of year given the low sun angle, but south-facing areas are probably going to see the snow gone here, if not already. Now, the pattern continues to be mild, too, and for the most part, kind of dry. We'll see some bits of precipitation, but overall the coasts are really seeing the bulk of the precipitation. The storm track continues to be somewhat to our north. So overall you can see a next push of a little bit of a warmer air comes Thursday right there with the warmer colors pushing up into the area. Then we do see a cold push, but it's not until you get to about late Saturday night into Sunday. You see a push of Arctic air comes through, just kind of clips the area and then kind of pushes back up to the northeast. So kind of progressive, but we will see a significant drop in temperatures Sunday into Monday and maybe into Tuesday. But then after Tuesday, a lot of question marks go on if we're going to see another push of cold air come down or we're going to kind of stay more in this west to east flow, which keeps our temperatures a little bit more seasonable. So more to come on that, but we will see a change here, but not until Saturday. So pretty much mild conditions. For tonight, temperatures do drop off a little bit. We have a little bit more clearing skies this evening. Clouds will increase overnight as we go throughout, so back into the 20s, so a little bit cooler than we had last night. Tomorrow, more clouds than we saw today. That'll keep the temperatures down area-wide, more into the 30s, maybe potential 40 out there. We do have some precipitation potential in the afternoon, very light, and we'll kind of track that out here. It's just like a weak cold front to the north. It's going to be pushing south over the area, and there's a system well to the south, too. Combined, they give us an opportunity to see a little bit of precipitation. We'll see that in the afternoon time frame. Right there, you're starting to see a little bit pop up just south of I-90 coming through the area right about that time. So basically, maybe between about 3 to 5 p.m., you might see a little bit of sprinkles, especially south of I-90. Most areas will stay dry, just cloud cover. That opportunity exists there. Now, going into Thursday, for Christmas, we still have temperatures in the 30s. Plenty of cloud cover remains, too, so not away much of any sunshine. Right now, it's dry. No travel impacts expected. But we do have another system approaching. This one's a little bit stronger, so I think we will see a better shot of precipitation, but still amounts would be light. It's not until about midnight that you see it get close enough. You can start seeing some of this pink showing up just the west of the Twin Cities. So the possibility of seeing some ice is there. It'll kind of come through the area. You see a little bit there approaching about midnight to 1, just a brief area of some pink here. So we're talking more drizzle, maybe some light rain at the most. It'll swing through about Friday by about 6 a.m. Most of it now is pushed east. You can see there's your system approaching from the south. So there's an opportunity to see some of that. But really, by the time you wake up Friday, everything would be gone in the way of precipitation. So ice there, really, we're kind of right on the edge as the best chance stays right toward north and east. Now, we're saying light potential. That means a couple hundred. It's a light glaze, nothing more significant than that. But with some side roads and less traveled roads at this time of night, you could see some slick areas, something to keep in mind of. We'll see if that changes, but for right now, it's just an opportunity that you'll see potentially Thursday night. Now going into Friday, temperatures actually warm up behind the system, a lot more 40s, even mid 40s potentially, maybe a few breaks in the clouds too, so still warm. But then the big plunge comes, as I mentioned, Sunday, and a lot of wind with this one. That's probably the biggest story of this. Sustained winds 25, maybe even stronger than that. Gusts could be even near 40 at times. That goes Sunday into Monday. Cold conditions, once again, we could see sub-zero wind chills once again with that. The good news with all that is we don't have a huge snowpack. So that could be far worse if it did come through with that. But get out and enjoy it, the mild conditions, and then we will have a return to winter. But besides Thursday night, travel-wise, still looking fairly good.
There we go. Some good news there. Thanks, Greg. Coming up next in sports, Into the Portal. Which Badger starter from last year is the latest to leave the program? Plus news on the status of J.J. McCarthy ahead of the Vikings' Christmas Day clash with the Lions. Jacob is next.
Covering all the exciting action from your community. Here's News 8 Now Sports with Jacob Lenzendorf.
Well, the mystery of the week is who will be taking snaps for the Packers on Saturday night. It's not much, but there was a small update given on the health of Jordan Love and Malik Willis today. In his chat with the media, Matt LaFleur saying both guys would be limited at practice today. On Love specifically, he's still in concussion protocol, and it's obviously a good sign for Green Bay's quarterback one to be cleared to practice in some capacity, but there are still more hoops to jump through if he wants to play against the Ravens. And a note on Josh Jacobs, he'll be limited at practice all week leading up to the game. One guy who will not be playing this week is J.J. McCarthy. Kevin O'Connell telling reporters today that he has a hairline fracture in his right hand and will miss the game against Detroit on Christmas, so Max Brosmer will start. It's still to be determined if McCarthy will play in the regular season finale against the Packers. A Viking win equals a Green Bay playoff clinching scenario. Some transfer portal news to pass along. Dylan Jones is leaving Wisconsin with 3 years of eligibility remaining. He started the year as the Badgers' #1 running back on the depth chart, but then a season-ending injury against Ohio State put an end to his season. He finished with 300 yards on 76 carries and 2 rushing touchdowns in 2025. Darian Dupree and Gideon Atuka are still with the program at the tailback position. The portal officially opens on January 2nd. And after a couple losses in a row, the Badger basketball team getting back in the win column last night, taking down Central Michigan by 27. Even without John Blackwell, Wisconsin put up 88 points on the Chippewas, thanks largely in part to their bench, which scored 44 points, the most by a Badger team since at least 2006. It's a unit that Greg Gard will rely on heavily to impact the season as it progresses.
Just got to continue to push and force guys to grow and mature and play to the standard. And as I told them, I'm not dropping the standard to meet where they at. They've got to improve and be consistent enough to reach it.
Wisconsin got 18 from Austin Rapp, 9 from Braden Carrington, and 6 from Zach Kinziger in his first collegiate appearance. And lastly, a check on the standings for the News 8 Sports Pick'em. Ken, you and I both had 12 last week. Emily with 11, Kate had 8, so you still lead by 5. Our overall winner was Nadine Hall from DeSoto, the only one from our local competition to get 15. So congratulations to Nadine. 15 out of 16 that's special.
Absolutely, especially this time of year. Yeah. There's some toss-up games nowadays.
Some big upsets. A few weeks left, I believe it goes into postseason as well. So
yeah, it continues through the postseason.
Yeah, we'll see if I can catch you, but we're neck and neck.
I feel like a very comfortable 5-game lead for sure.
Thanks, Ken.
Thanks, Jacob. We got one more check of your forecast right after this.
All right, a little colder than we had last night, but still mild for this time of year to see 20s and some teens. Increasing clouds overnight, so more clouds tomorrow, not much away it's sun, so temperatures probably a degree or two cooler for most areas, but still, once again, it's well above average. And besides just the precipitation we might see Thursday night, otherwise it should be fairly quiet until we get all the wind and cold air coming by Sunday.
Yeah, it's inevitable that winter comes back, but enjoy this stretch for sure. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you back at 10.